So yeah, so this is actually the first time where we cheated a little bit, and we were talking before I was recording.
Oh
But
my gosh.
so this
Okay.
is my new friend Gloria, who I have not spoken to before, and I
Hi,
just thought it would be really
Tanya.
fun because you have this expertise around being a single mom and managing money, and um, we met through B School, which is
Yes.
Marie Forleo online, how to build a business. Full disclosure, I have never actually done all the coursework, and I did it back in, like, I just never got past the beginning. And
Oh wow. I have. I did everything, but I still need to go back again.
well, that's the good thing. Like, I keep signing up year after year, and I'm like, this will be the year that I do it. But it doesn't really feel right for me, but I still love the community. I still love the people I meet there, and I love all the creative things that other people do.
Yes, I think the community is amazing. And I've read there was a YouTube she did where someone mentioned that the year I joined, like the community is unparalleled, to none. You know, the feedback we get from ideas and thoughts that we have, it's amazing. So
Yeah.
I like it.
And it's, where else are you going to find 20,000 or 30,000 mainly women led
Yeah, yeah.
businesses? I suppose I was mainly interested in how she was running her business. So I was sort of analyzing Marie, if anything.
Oh, that's a good way. And she's been doing it for a long, long time.
Oh yeah, I was there, not the first. I was there in the second class.
Wow.
So,
Wow.
and I've seen some people do amazing things, like Denise Duffield Thomas in Australia. Uh,
Okay.
she was in that class too.
I feel like a lot of people out there
Hmm.
are from her program.
Yeah,
Because after a while you're like, oh, you were in B school too. I'm like,
right.
oh, all right, you
It's
know.
funny. I feel, there's an affiliation that you feel that's similar to what you feel if you go to a college and then have reunions. And
Exactly.
but because
Yeah.
it's all built online, it's more active actually. Like,
Yes.
I don't
Yes.
have a bunch of um, college friends I chat with. I have
Yeah.
I have one friend from college, and actually he's in DC.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I think I'm like that. I can count all my friends on my finger. Um, maybe but I do have a lot of people that I know that but like as introvert, shy person,
Yeah.
it's just like, okay, so I have this group of people, but then I have the whole world at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and I guess I should also clarify, because I said I had one friend from the college from which I was graduated, not
Okay. Okay.
like I have friends from different places of my life, but um,
Yeah.
well, yeah. So that's how we met, and I I got the impression that you were trying to build something that was for helping women figure
Yes.
it out, right? And you were just about
Yes.
to tell me that you got divorced in 2015?
Yes.
Okay.
So when we were talking earlier, so I found Marie after my divorce in 2015. And my story, because in hindsight now it is a story, it's ridiculous. Okay, so after my divorce, I was like, oh my gosh, now what will I do? But let me backtrack a little. I was separated for the longest time, and then my divorce became, we finally divorced, and then there was no, the hope was gone. Like from that point on, you knew you weren't together anymore. So now, what would you do with your life? And that became my question. And I believe at that time, my 11-year-old was like either turning 5, which meant he could go into school and come back home with his brothers, which gave me a little bit of time when I left work. I didn't have to rush from the office to pick him up from daycare. Oh my gosh, those days were really stressful. They were really stressful.
I
Uh,
know what you mean. But
so
he's your youngest of three, so
yeah,
that's what gave you the freedom, was like his going.
yes, that okay, I'm done with this part. Now there's this pocket of time. What do you like? And then bam, I couldn't pull up anything. Nothing. I drew blank. Am I okay? I sewed when I was in at a young age. I had a sewing machine. I even went to sewing school because my dad knew, like, okay, you needed to have something apart from what you're going to school for. I think he brought that from being in the United States. So growing up in Nigeria, be like, okay, each child, apart from your education, you also had to do something with your hands.
Oh, really?
And
Was that like expected of all of your siblings?
actually, he did it for all of us. My younger sister, after me, she trained with someone in a beauty shop, and now she does makeup and all of that. So that's her thing full time. She's a makeup artist and she does hair and all the works. I decided to take on sewing. My elder brother was into music and he developed that until his passing a couple of years ago. So yeah, so he did that, and that I'm so glad that I did learn to sew. So I had that on my list, and also I remember that, like, okay, when I was in boarding school, I read Harley Quinn, Sidney Sheldon, and all of those great novels, Lace. So I'd write novels in school, and I was like, okay, I'm a writer. I need to write. So that was one. I love planning events for people. Oh, I need to be an event planner. I love talking. I need to be a news reporter. Oh my gosh, there are like a whole lot of things I wanted to be. So I guess at some point I Googled, what's it called? Multi-passionate or something, and I landed on Marie. So
Oh.
I started consuming a whole lot of her content. And then I think like a year later, I was like, I saw the B school thing. I was like, okay, let me do B school. So I was still like, nah, I wouldn't do it. Then something happened. But before it happened, I'd already watched on Marie's YouTube channel. I'd watched the thing with Elizabeth Gilbert, Big Magic,
Mm-hmm.
that interview she did at Garby Bernstein.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I watched her thing.
Mm-hmm.
But then one day, I watched a video with Simon Sinek, the start with Why Guy.
I saw him live at her event.
Oh, you did?
He is so fabulous.
He is an amazing human being.
Yeah.
And so between Garby Bernstein's video and Simon Sinek, I said some things while I watched the video, and I had no clue what I was doing when I did that. Fast forward to October, I started following Simon on social media. One thing led to the other. I got a request to, um, I did a raffle and I won with Simon to come see him backstage in New York. Yeah. Oh my gosh, I know. That's really cool.
Oh my gosh.
That's really awesome. That's how like he's an amazing human being.
Oh.
Um, so with the three kids, I'm like, okay, I can't do this. Just say no. So I talked to my younger sister. She's like, yeah, you gotta come. You gotta come. So I was like, okay. And she lives in New York. He invited two people. So I was like, okay, you be my second person. Meet me at the Barnes and Nobles. That's where we'll be meeting him. That whole incident changed my life because I ended up meeting him. I got there late, but I was in communication with his staff. And because he knew I was trying and everything, by the time I got there, it was like, okay, we can't do the backstage, but I'll take you out for dinner. I know,
You went out to dinner with Simon Sinek.
I know, but I was so
That is so awesome.
and I didn't take any pictures, but
That's okay. That's
he was like, "Are you gonna take?"
better. Sometimes that's better.
Yeah, it was like, "Are you taking it? Are you gonna do any videos?" I was like, "Nope." I was just like listening to him, asking him questions. But there were the staff. My sister was there, so that whole event just changed me. But like, he was such a good human being, also. And for someone who had been processing like my divorce from a year earlier, I was just like, it was just like a glimpse that, okay, there are good people in the world. We walked from Barnes and Noble to wherever the restaurant we ended up going to, and like, he was just like really nice. Like, you'd see people on the streets and throw compliment at them. They didn't know it was Simon Sinek, right? And they'll be like, "Oh my gosh, you have a beautiful earring. Oh, you look wonderful." I was like,
Flash, he's just a person too, right?
exactly. And I was like, oh, but like, some people are really like
Stars.
me. Yeah. No, not I was definitely starstruck, but some people out there, like, immediately you meet them, you can tell like maybe they don't know how to socially interact, or maybe
You're saying like when you meet your idol, you can be
yeah,
so
yeah.
disappointed. Yes, I've had that experience. Yes.
Yeah, but he wasn't like that, He was, and it was just like he gave me hope. And even when I was like, I don't know how I got here, like, this is so surreal, he was like, it is surreal for him too. But that anyway, if I needed to be here and I was here, then something about then.
So how did it change your life? What switched, or what shifted for you?
So what shifted was, so all of that happened, and I guess all my cortisol and endorphins, everything mixed together. So came home that same night because I have kids. So it was like I left New York maybe like around 11 p.m. or 12. Yeah. He was like, stay, stay in New York. I was like, no, I couldn't do that. I had kids. So got to Maryland like 5 a.m. Anyway, did the whole I talk a lot, so get ready for the long story. So got to work, got home, got the kids ready for school by 6, and went to work that day. The next day was a Saturday. So Saturday I had time to sit down and process everything that happened. I was like, wow, that was a wild ride. Like, if I hadn't gone, what would have happened? Um, And then one other thing was that I wrote notes down, and because I believe in symbolism a lot, I was like, what does this really mean? What does meeting Simon mean in the grand scheme of things? And then I guess I was so excited, he gave me like the placard for his book that I'd gone there for. And I was like, what does this symbolize? Anyway, one thing led to the other. I took that to mean vision boards. And I then went on my next journey, which was spontaneously to say I'm creating 100 vision board for people in 2017. And
You were creating vision boards for other people.
other people. I wanted other people to have the same opportunity I had to be able to dream. And so I'd give away 100 vision boards free. And I started that, started posting on social media, told a couple of my friends. One thing led to the other. A good friend now, who I wasn't really friends with then, saw it on social media, has someone who is an editor in Baltimore Sun, and they interviewed me, did a article on me in the Baltimore Sun about me meeting Simon Sinek and wanting to create 100 vision boards for people to be able to dream again. And So that happened, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is a wild ride. And so I was like, okay, so how do I keep the momentum going? And that's when B school came in. Like I knew I had no tools. I've only, even though I have an MBA and accounting degree, accounting degree.
Oh,
Um,
I didn't know this.
yeah, so I have a BA in comparative religions, um, and then I have my MBA and my accounting degree.
I can see why you had to look up multi-passionate.
Exactly, right?
Okay, yeah.
So I was like, okay, just do the B school thing. And I signed up for it because I had no real world knowledge of how to use everything that had happened to me for anything else. But all I knew was I had to jump on the opportunity to of okay, you met Simon, now you're in the newspaper. Like, what does all this mean? Let's see what it leads to. And that's how I got into B school.
And so did you see B school as the solution to the question, what do I do with all these passions?
I did. I really did. And I believe the way Marie advertises it, you see her program as something that would explain what you couldn't explain as a multi-passionate person. So yeah, I saw it as that.
So what did you learn? Like, what did you figure out that you, like, how did you figure out how to weave your things together and create a business out of it?
So what I'm realizing is it's not as easy as it is.
It's not as easy
so
as it is. Okay.
so the Marie puts all the tools in there. I almost feel like it's like a university. If you're young and you don't have any responsibility, you can bam 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 go in and use all the tools that Marie has. But I had 3 kids, and then I was also committed to work. Plus, I volunteer in other capacity, like at church. And then you realize, okay, you're not moving as fast as everybody else.
I think actually everybody feels that. Everybody
Oh,
feels
really?
like they're not doing it fast enough.
Okay,
I
okay.
think that's the illusion. Like, that's one of the things that I noticed over time. Um, anyway,
Yeah.
so you were right on path, right on plan. Just didn't think
so
so.
so it's like, okay, I can't. And then it's hard to make. So I did the vision board thing, and my intention with that was not to monetize it. But later on, people were like, oh, this is really good. Why aren't you charging for it? I'm like, oh, I am in B school. I should figure out a way to charge for this. Um, but I've still never been able to charge people. Um, I just feel like that's the free part of whatever my calling or my purpose is. I've asked people to donate. Like I'll be like, okay, on your way out, drop whatever you have in a box or something. I did a couple in the library, and I have a girlfriend who has a tutoring center who also let me host at her place at no cost. So I haven't had a lot of expenses like that. Um,
So
so
are the vision boards, does it feel like it's you coaching it out of people, or does it feel like a piece of art that you're creating together? Or is it, it could be,
um, I always feel like they're doing the creation, but whenever I say that, they all tell me, no, you did this. And I'm like, no, you did this. Because it's like, okay, so people come in and we have just poster boards and the magazines, right? And the glue stick and the scissors. I provide all that. But then I share some things. Like I have 5 things that I've learned. I learned when I did it that one year of vision board. Someone said what that did was
I
like,
lost your sound.
oh, oh,
Wait, you're back. You're back.
okay. So I have 5 things I share when we're doing the vision board. And what I find is that people tell me at the end that they didn't do it all by themselves, that I helped too. But I always look at the board they create and go, oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. You guys make me feel like I'm doing something, but you did it. And
doing it in person or online?
in person. So I guess with the world we're in now, we're gonna try online at some point.
I think that would be super. I would love that. First of all, I have probably 10,000 magazines in my basement.
Oh wow!
That might not even be an exaggeration. Like, I am a magazine junkie. I always have been. Once I threw away an entire dumpster of magazines, and to this day I regret it.
Oh my God! You need to ship it to Maryland.
They were like 10 years of British Vogue from the
90s. Wow!
Like, the most beautiful. Yeah, but I just didn't have any more space. So anyway, I periodically I get rid of magazines, and I just did it recently. And a woman came by who works with senior citizens.
Okay.
And she was like, we are going to be so happy with these for so long. And I gave her like, I don't know, like that many or something.
Because like even here at the beginning and even till now, like the places I go to get news magazines, I'll go to the barbershop, my dental office. They know me at the local library. Like they'll be like, oh, we have some now, come get it. So like I'm constantly hunting down magazines for the event. Yeah.
Wait, I got like, here, this is holding up my computer right now.
Oh my gosh. Oh yeah, so definitely. Oh, that's cool.
And I'm such a junkie because I'm a photographer. So I see them a certain way, but I was working with an organizer who said, like, how do you feel when you see these magazines? And at the time, I guess I was feeling like, okay, these are jobs that I didn't get, shoots that I didn't do, places I didn't go, parties I wasn't invited to. And it was all kind of negative. And she's like, we need to get rid of them.
Oh, wow.
Oh, God, I want to flog myself for that, because there was so much beauty and art and like passion in those magazines, and
yes,
it would have made extraordinary vision boards.
Yeah, but you only have enough space for maybe 1, 2. I think I have about four vision boards. So at the end of the day, you don't need that much magazines anyway. But I'm working on something. So I'm in a group, and I just recently did coaching on how to bring all of this together, like, because I'm like, okay, so what exactly am I supposed to do for people? So that hasn't come through Marie, but it's come through someone else who's walked the walk before. So I will be putting together something. I guess my timeline is the fall. It'll have parts of the vision board in it, but in essence, it's about people self-correcting or finding your real work that you're supposed to do in this world. So like, I know I missed my path, right? Because like, you see me saying I have a first degree. All I ever wanted to do was be like my dad. He was a stockbroker and a finance investment person.
That's what you wanted to do?
Yeah, I'm like a really big daddy's girl.
Okay.
But we had problems. My dad and my mom had problems in their marriage growing up in Nigeria. And as a young kid, like, I didn't know that some of the things that they were both doing to each other, spite me, I spite you, that kind of thing, later on rubbed off on me, because I was supposed to go to a particular school, but my mom was like, no, I'll do the school. I'll do the school. So the school she worked on, I ended up studying that. But if my dad had handled it, I would have studied this. So later on in life, I'm like, okay, I still want to do accounting and business. So that was getting my master's degree was my way into that. But that messed up everything. So how do you get back on the path? That's where the whole after my divorce thing started. Let's find out what we like to do. Let's figure out what we're actually supposed to be doing on earth. Are you really supposed to be working as a budget analyst? And so I'm going to put all of those together and help other people who got lost like me.
Well, and also I work with so many different sort of spiritual teachers and things, and
Okay.
one of them in particular would say, you don't have to find your purpose, you're living it every single day.
Yes.
That all of those stories and all that you were doing, that's part of the story.
Yes.
It just made you richer, it made you smarter, it made you more qualified to do whatever it is you're about to do. You've been training in all these different arenas. I mean, I think that's real. I would sign up in a heartbeat for an online vision board class, because I'm a super creative person. I do not lack for creative ideas, but sometimes I need direction, because the blank page is just kind of overwhelming. And if you would just ask me a question and let me answer it, I'd probably do the thing. And
yeah.
And also, when it comes to vision boards, I actually had this fantasy. I was going to do mine on doors. Like, I was going to buy 3 or 4 doors and hinge them together to make a screen, because I wanted like a front and back walk around. I wanted like a life-size vision board.
Okay, that's something. I'd like to see that.
Remember when you were kids? Remember, like, I don't know, every school I can think of probably ever did this, where you lie down on the ground and someone traces your body?
Yes.
So how cool would it be to do your vision board on a door and then trace your body after you did it? Like,
oh my gosh, that's really amazing.
Like, like, it's your door, it's your portal, literally portal.
Oh my gosh, you're onto something.
What if you took a door off of the hinge in your house and just did that? And so every time you use your door and walk through it, it's like walking into your vision. Oh my God.
Yes, that's amazing. And you don't even need to take it off the hinge.
You're right. Oh
yeah. That's really cool. Okay. And you have enough magazines to do that.
And I have enough doors too. I have I live in a 50s Cape house, and I have 50 doors in this house.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Okay, I can see that.
Let's do a vision door. We should just do it as a, so much fun.
Exactly. We should give it a shot.
I could get you a group, and we could just set it up as your first online guinea pig program, right? And we'll keep it all, and then you figure out how to turn that into a business.
Okay, we could try that too. I need I need the motivation.
I mean, this is what I do. I'm a crazy brainstormer, and you tell me what you want to do, and I'm like, oh, you could do it like this.
Yeah, I like that. That's a good idea too. A door,
Because I love the idea, sort of like a guided visualization. I love the idea of a guided vision board.
I kind of guide people. It's grown. It didn't start that way, but my last one was really more like that, because we did like meditation at the beginning just to clear the space. And then, of course, I went into my talk about my 5 things, and then people now started working on their vision board now. And then at the end, I have this very good friend that I have now. She does the reflection at the end, even though like I do it too, but like whenever she comes to any of the events, I just I'm not handling the event. Monique is handling the reflections, and she looks into the boards and she sees things that you don't see, the meaning of the color that you chose on the board, what the door represents. It's really good. I think as an HSP person, sometimes I don't see like the value that I bring, but like people would tell me like, God, that was really, really good. That was really good. So it's life changing.
HSP, highly sensitive person.
Huh?
HSP is highly sensitive person.
Highly sensitive. Yeah. Highly. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna translate that for the
Yes, that's true. Yeah.
anyone who doesn't know. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
I actually, while you were saying that, I was just picturing you literally on a stage in a room full of tables where people were doing these boards like around tables.
Oh.
Then I had this one moment where I saw you say to someone, okay, now take your board and hand it to the person next to you.
Huh.
And the person next to you gets to add one thing to it.
Oh wow.
Because I love what a random
Mm-hmm.
element can add to our lives. Like
Yes.
your friend looking at the board and seeing something else.
Yes.
The person next to you and you get a thing, and then maybe you hand it the other way and get one more thing.
Oh wow.
And that's it. That's, it's just like, but like I went to an event. Oh, I know where you should be doing this.
Where?
Got it for you. It's called Celebrate Your Life. Look it up. Write that down.
Oh, really? Okay. All right. I will check that out.
That
Celebrate.
event, it has a bunch of speakers, it's like spiritual Hay House authors. It's like a who's who of Hay House authors.
Oh wow.
And I went to a thing there that was run by Denise Lynn. And she had a little exercise where she had us walk around the room with our eyes closed and then hug whoever came into our whatever space. Like, so our eyes are closed, we're bumping into everything and people.
Oh, wow.
And then she says, stop, and you hug that person. And one of those people is one of my really good friends to this day.
Wow.
I was wearing a fuzzy vest, and she saw lunch, and she's like, "Oh, girl with the fuzzy vest, I hugged you." Boom, we became friends. And that was years ago.
Wow.
But we found out over time that there's something like 5 or 6 of us who are now friends.
Okay.
Kind of connected through this teacher, Sue Mortar. We were all at that event. Like,
oh wow.
Not an accident.
Wow.
And I love stuff like that. So
yeah,
I love connecting people and the ways that people can be connected. And I think that you making art, put people in a place where they're feeling free. And you're also creating communities because of the way you're bringing people together.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. All right, I'm gonna look that up. What was it again? I didn't write it down.
Celebrate your life.
Celebrate your life. I do not have a pen near me, so I'll try.
Just as a model for an event, I think that's a really. I mean, you can create your own event. You have your own person. You could create an event where this is an aspect of it. Which is funny because the thing I thought I wanted to hear from you was about sort of finances for women.
Okay, let's hop into that now.
Switch over to that track.
So, I guess a finances for women. I've been in finance for a long time. One of the things I enjoyed from my first job in a nonprofit agency was that because we catered to teen moms in the community, it gave us in the finance department like an opportunity to talk to them about their finances. Some would just come and be like, okay, what do I do with this situation? And I really, really loved that, right? And then I had to work with the state government, and that wasn't in there for me. So I find like talking to people about finances and sharing that kind of rapport conversation, I found it really helpful. And of course, that's what I thought B school would help me do better also. Um, but I found a bigger community that's into finance last year, and that's the FinCon community.
What's it called?
FinCon.
Oh, FinCon. Uh-huh.
Mhm. So it's where bloggers and media finance personalities meet. And so it's, for me, getting divorced, also being separated was really hard. I had left my finances to my ex when we were married. Like, he did practically everything, paid the bills. I just, did whatever I was supposed to do as a wife, and took the kids to
Except
school.
you're the one with the MBA.
No, he was equally. My husband was equally
Oh,
good. He didn't have an MBA, but he had a master's, and he was into IT before everybody in the world was. So we lived in one of the more affluent part of the county before I moved to where I am now. So he was really good. But I don't even know where I learned that your husband takes care of everything and you just take care of the kids and the food and
I don't know where you would learn anything different. So, like,
oh, yeah.
that's what we all see all the time, everywhere.
So that's all I did. And then when the marriage went, I still didn't know how to take care of everything well, but I would watch Susie Orman. What's the other guy? There were a couple of other people.
Dave Ramsey.
One's Dave Ramsey, because then I was also really into being a Christian who only
Yeah.
did Christian financial people. But I didn't know Dave Ramsey then.
Right. There's another guy in Atlanta that I really like. Oh, Clark Howard.
Clark Howard is
I like him
amazing.
very much. Drive your car till the wheels run off.
Exactly. And then there was Ron Blue. Ron Blue, and there's another guy, Crown Financial Ministries. So all those people I would listen to, and
Any more women? I mean, everyone knows Susie Orman, but
yes, but exactly. So all of the other ones I mentioned are all men, but Susie, and I feel like Susie I connected to on a soul level because of two things. She would say, money for
people
first, then money, then things. And I always felt a connection to that, because even if you messed up everything, the way she explained that, you knew, like, okay, sometimes there were issues with money where people took precedence over money. Like, that just gave you like that guideline. Like, if a child is in the hospital and you had to pay a bill, like, you knew people was more important. So I love that about her. And then there was one other thing I took from Susie, and that was, one day she was like, what's the feeling you get inside of you when you're spending the money? And it was like, okay, so try to remember that feeling so that the next time it comes up again, you don't go spend money. So I've held on to those things, about her. And then later on, I came across Dave Ramsey, and I've been working on my finances for a long time to get it to a good place. But I have a different perspective now. Like, the perspective I had when I was married, totally different. I really didn't care about any other person when I was married. Of course, it was just me, my husband, and my kids. Poor people, who are the poor people? Like food stamp, no, we don't do that. WIC, we don't do that. So, but being in that position where I had to depend for about 3 months, I had to depend on food stamp. What's it called? TANF support. I had to depend on that for about 3 months. WIC, I had to get those. And then I was like, oh my gosh, the government services are really good. um, they they enforce education so you can get the services, but the things they're enforcing are really good. So I benefited on that side because the things that I didn't know about how to eat properly, I learned it. Or maybe I'm just taking the good part of, I see the rosy thing in every situation.
But no, it was part of the learning process.
Yes. So all of those things happened. But at the same time, I learned to not let my focus be that. I realized that poverty can hold you down. All those things were also good, but I learned really quickly, like I had to not attach myself to it because there were various ways to stay on food stamp, on free housing, but your income would never go up because if it did, then you'd lose all those benefits.
Right.
So I became those people that I was talking to, the teen mothers in my first in my first job. Um, and so one thing I learned was, okay, you have to have savings, and you need to have and even if you can't save, like do some other things that help you guard your cash flow if it's not coming in well. Like mine wasn't coming in as much as it used to. We used to be a two-income household. Now we're only my income and child support. And there's a difference between income to income and child support. So one thing that I feel like I lost my train of thought. um, okay, so it's all the assistance. So I learned not to be attached to it. Um, but then I would do other things, which was I made sure that like I had um, they're called there's HSA, but then there's flexible spending accounts. So
Mm-hmm.
those are really good.
Yeah.
So I had to get things like that to supplement my income, even though it was coming directly from my paycheck. But it was put aside because at that point I didn't have the discipline to put money aside and use for certain things. So things like that helped me. I feel like people need to get insurance, social, not social, disability insurance, because if you lose your job, no, if you get hurt, not lose your job, if you get hurt while working and you have to be away from work for a bit, that helps your income situation. Like,
But what if you don't have a job? So for instance, I'm a freelance person. It wouldn't even occur to me to get disability insurance because how?
oh, that's
Um,
true.
I've
You could still get it as a that's a good thing to look into. But the I don't know, the deductible may be higher for you.
So one of the things that I can say about um, all things financial, like all of the people who speak about finance,
Yeah.
I have yet to hear anyone speaking to me, like speaking to a freelance person who doesn't have a 401k,
Mhm.
doesn't have a job, doesn't have a steady paycheck, is like, freelance gig economy, financial advice doesn't exist as
Oh,
far
wow.
as I can tell. Um,
Have you read Profit First?
mm-mm.
Okay. So I think Profit First, the book, does cover that for freelancers from the financial planning side of things. Um, but what I do find, because I did side gig for someone, but I think people doing side gigs should not mix accountant with bookkeeper with the person to give them that type of advice. And but unfortunately they do. And when you do, you can't get the full benefit of what you're supposed to be doing. So if you need an accountant as someone with a small business, get an accountant and let them give you accountant um, information. If you need a bookkeeper, get them, let them be a bookkeeper giving you bookkeeping information. And then get that other person who is going to tell you how to do your business and what you need to put in place so that if anything happens, you'll be okay.
That's
But
that's the person I don't have, that third
yeah,
person, because I
yeah,
have a bookkeeper and I have an accountant,
yeah.
and frankly, it's super hard for me to stay caught up. I mean, I can barely afford to pay the
Hmm.
bookkeeper and the accountant. I mean, I owe my accountant thousands of dollars right now
Yeah.
for tax returns that they just completed, which are old. The government owed me $9,000 and they won't pay me
Oh wow.
because the returns were filed too late. So
Oh
they're just
wow.
keeping the money.
Oh wow.
Not only that, because I'm not up to date, I can't get any of these plans or any of these things that exist right now
The
that are
PPP stuff.
helping
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
So that's fine. In a way, that's my life. I'm used to.
Yeah.
I'm used.
And I think it's the clarity as someone who even though I do the blogging and all of these things, I side gig as like fractional CFO bookkeeper for someone for like a year and some months.
Mhm.
Um and that's what I noticed. That one person can't do all the jobs she wanted. Um and that you end up spending money on all of those things if you lay it all on one person. But like you said, like people need to know those things.
People need a vision board for money.
Yes, a vision board.
Oh, there's another business. Like a vision board for money, because it is so, I mean, yes, people have all of these rules. I mean, I was married to a banker.
Yeah,
I mean, he's like, you can't do that. You can't use this deposit to pay for that album, blah, blah, blah. I'm like,
yeah,
got another plan? You know, like,
yeah, yeah.
free people aren't getting this information because the information is geared for
People.
employed people,
Yeah,
employed by whatever you call it, a boss. I am a
yeah,
boss. So I just think this would be so valuable for somebody to step up and
yeah. Yeah, I know one of the things, the person I worked with, one of the things that I advised her to do was on her insurance for her business. I told her, I can't remember what it's called, but if you call your insurance agent, there's an insurance you can get that if you get sick or whatever happens and you can't make income, that the fixed cost of your business would be covered through that. So there's a line item. I can't remember what it is.
employment insurance or something like that.
No, I think it's something fixed cost. It's fixed expense, something. But I don't know what it is because I had to call the person and the insurance guy finally was like, okay, yeah, I know what you're talking about. And then he added it in. It bumped her insurance up. But my thing was I just wanted her to have like an insurance, the same thing we just talked about. Like if something happens, how do you cover that expense? And she did that. One other thing is to always have like a reserve account. Um, and most companies know this, but I don't think enough people know it. That's why Profit First was a really great idea of the book. Um, if you have a reserve fund automatically, every time money comes in, you're putting something back into that account. And you're not looking at that account. Just call it reserve. We're not even calling it savings. We're not calling it emergency fund. We're just calling it a reserve account. And you just dump your money in there. That's another thing that people that have businesses, can do. What I find is self-employed people, I don't know, all this information is hard for them to take in or something.
Well, it's because it's not just this information. It's 10, 15. It's so many different kinds of information. I mean, I have to stay up to date in technology. I have to stay up to date in, what systems am I using for technology, or what's the latest version of Photoshop, or what's the latest version of the camera. And none of those are the reason I got into doing what I'm doing. And yet I have to wear all 10 hats.
Which
is why I just think that self-employed people end up extremely overwhelmed. And
I believe it.
And if you're married, or if you're in a partnership with someone who can lighten some of the load, of course you delegate that. Of course you give someone, and then all of a sudden you're a single mom. Well, obviously being a mom is first.
Yeah.
And now you're a single overloaded person.
Yes.
Trying to raise children.
Yeah.
Stay balanced, take care of your body and your soul and everything else, and figure out how to save
run a business. Yeah. It's a lot.
Good luck.
Yeah. It's a lot. Yeah.
It's a very niche little market. But when I first moved here to Sag Harbor, all of my friends were single moms.
Okay. Oh, wow. Okay.
One of my friends, a good friend, she's an amazing bookkeeper. She's a Virgo. She's very organized.
Okay.
So she's very good with money, but she's the exception. She's the exception. And yes, moms have to be good at a lot of things.
Yeah, there's a lot of expectation of what we're supposed to know how to do. And that's a lot. Yeah.
But I would listen to. Well, I'm going to get this book that you recommended. I'm going to listen to that.
Mm-hmm.
I would listen to podcasts about this. If they were specifically geared toward women and businesses who are also moms. That's I know it sounds like a little niche, but I think it's a growing niche, if you ask me.
Wow. I didn't think about that.
Because I don't hear anyone speaking to me. And when I listen to Susie Orman, she sounds so, on the one hand, she's compassionate, but on the other, she's so tough and aggressive. And
that compassionate that she has that compassionate part. Sometimes I come off aggressive too, so but in my when I'm in my bookkeeping mode, I come off really super good because I want to save people money, and then that gets in the way of things depending on the type of business owner you are. Okay, you can't tell me how to spend my money or how to do my thing, and but anyway, I've only had that one bookkeeping gig so far, so but I learned a lot doing it.
Wow. Well, I feel like we could just go on and on and on, and I could talk forever to you because you have so many interesting things you're doing. But we should probably, keep this to a reasonable length.
Yeah.
And I totally want to gather a group and do a vision door.
I know, right? Yeah, do it. Do you want me to send you anything or?
We'll just chat back and forth and figure it out. I'll find some people. I'll find some other crazy people who want to do a vision door. We could put it in B School and look for volunteers, and we could say it came up during this conversation.
Yes, vision door. That's amazing. I don't think I've heard about that anywhere.
Well, I do a lot of energy work, right? Everything has energy. Energy, right?
Yes.
Everything is particles and energy.
Yes.
so a thing has energy, and if you're constantly walking through a door, like touching your vision, walking through, boom. I mean, this will sound crazy, but it's not crazy. When I lived in New York, I
Mhm.
had a poster on the back of my door
Mhm.
that was it was a photograph of Paris.
Okay.
And I don't know, I just always had a certain like feeling or attachment, whatever. Yeah, boom, a couple years later, I was living in Paris.
Oh
And
wow.
I didn't even make the connection then, but there's something about like the things that we choose to have
Oh
on
yeah.
our walls or choose to have around
Yeah.
us.
Yeah.
They affect us whether we're paying attention or not.
Yeah. And I know we're rounding down, but I believe that's why, like, for every vision board, you're supposed to put it in a place where you can see it
Yeah.
all the time, And I feel like you're onto something with the door because if you put it there, like you said, that energy
Mm-hmm.
is right there. It's accessible to you
Yeah.
all the time. It's even so much better than putting it on a wall and straining your neck to check it out.
And have you ever been to a church or a monument where people always touch a thing for good luck? You know, they touch the
Oh, yeah,
nose,
yeah, yes. The
right?
Catholic Church
What
do
if
that
the
a lot.
vision door, forget the whole, you could have your whole body outline, but what if you had your hand outline and every time you went through the door, you actually put your
Touched it.
on
Yeah,
your hands, right? Like,
I see that. That's really good. We should come up with something and do that. I like that. Yeah, juicy, juicy. Oh my gosh, this is so good. This is the blessing that COVID-19 has brought into our life is the whole video calls and having time to chat with people that you wouldn't have connected to
yes.
in the past. This is amazing.
And I love it. It's, well, this pace of life suits me very well.
Me too. Me
Um,
too. Once I figure out, finally balance out my schedule, I feel like I'm ready for this. Yeah, and I feel like this. I think the future has changed. What do you think? I feel like it's changed going forward. We can't do 9 to 5 like we've always done it anymore.
well, I never did.
Oh,
So it's nothing has really changed for me.
okay.
Um, really nothing. I mean,
Oh,
I was
wow.
going to say maybe my appreciation for, friends, blah, blah, blah. No,
Okay.
I appreciated all of that before. I appreciated how much I could travel and things like that. There is nothing, I'm super grateful for the life that I had already chosen.
Okay.
And I feel like if anything else, now more people are getting on board with this idea that,
Yes. And I'm one of those people because this is amazing. Like I can eat my breakfast, exercise more than I could in the past,
Mhm.
and still have the opportunity to go outside for a walk
Yeah.
in the same day and do work stuff.
So you
It's
can
really,
feel, you can actually feel and feel good
yeah,
and feel
yeah,
in your body and feel, oh, I love that.
yeah, yeah. I love it. I
I
love
do.
it.
I miss, socializing. I miss going out to dinner. Um,
Wow.
I miss seeing my friends in person.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's true. I don't know, maybe the introvert part of me, I missed it, but I'm also like a person who loves talking.
Mm,
So the mere fact that I can talk to you kind of gives me what I lacked in your physical body being in
yeah.
front of me. Yeah.
Well, I always was I love connection that's one to one. I'm not like a big group. I mean, I can do groups and stuff, and that's okay. But I really prefer one-to-one contact.
Okay.
So I only started doing these videos because of the pandemic, and honestly, because Alec Baldwin did a little video on Instagram.
I
And
remember you said
remember
that.
when I said that?
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
was like, oh, he said we should keep a video diary. So I started with that, and I thought, well, this is kind of boring. I don't really need to hear myself talk all the time. I mean, sometimes I have some things to say, but not all the time.
Yeah, yeah.
And I thought, wouldn't it be fun to just this is what I do as a photographer. It's all about connection. We
Yeah.
have a great time together, and I usually take pictures. Only now I'm just doing it without the pictures.
Yeah. Yeah. This is
but
amazing.
I am sort of doing the pictures because I'm recording this, and so now we're both on video.
And that's, life is changing for us. So, yeah. This has been really amazing. Thank you. So this is my first YouTube thing. Well, I recorded myself on YouTube before. I have a lot of videos that I need to post. But this is my first official someone is interviewing me video. Yeah, so thank you. Thank you.
I could totally see you doing this, and people could write to you with their, let's say, finance questions. It could be anything, whatever it is you like, and you could just like chat with one person for 15 minutes and answer their question.
Yes.
Like
and hopefully I will.
Finances or something.
That will be fun, and hopefully by next month, I did finally get my podcast onto Apple. It's just now I have to like put out the invite to people to. I'm scared.
Not like I don't really tell anybody about these. I mean, I put the conversations on my Facebook.
Okay.
But I don't care. I mean, if people come, great. If they don't, great. It's not. I'm not making this harder than it needs to be.
It should be. Okay. And that's good, because I feel like the harder is what's stopping me. Like, people post intros and outros and edit the videos, and I'm like, I have a lot of videos, and now I have to add the intros and outros. I'm like, oh my gosh.
First of all, my son could do that for you like this if you wanted it, and he's super cheap. But I couldn't get him to work for me because he was still in school. He's in college. Okay. And he's like, oh yeah, Mom, I'm too busy. I was like, okay, fine. I'll just post it the way it is. Too bad. And I'm such a perfectionist, but I just was like, let go of it. Don't worry about it. Because for me, this isn't the end. This is something on my path, and I don't know what it means, but I'm just rolling with it. And and, Marie says, just start wherever you are, or I don't know who says that, but start before you're ready.
Yes.
And I don't even know what I've started, but I know that it feels good, and I'm just coming from there.
I like it. The mere fact, the beautiful chair itself.
Like my sound booth. It's my little.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, that by itself is something. I love it.
Thank you. Well, this was so awesome. I can't wait to talk to you again somewhere, whatever. We're going to do our little doors. We're going to turn that into a thing.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you so much for all this time today.
Thank you. Same here. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.